Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to have a working day to work on your Desmos project that is due at the very end of the school year. So last time you went ahead and selected your image, looking for mostly straight lines. We're going to continue our work with straight lines today. And then our next lesson that we have for our Desmos project, we're going to talk about how to deal with those curves. So the very first thing that you need to do when you're looking and creating a line to match a picture on your Desmos assignment is you want to write the equation of the line that matches your line. We have notes from the 30th of March that go into this more detail, but that's the first thing that we're going to talk about. So here I have my project that we worked on, which is the UCLA project, and I'm going to go ahead and mark and meet this line. I'm going to match this line right here on the C of UCLA. So I'm going to go ahead and go y equals, and it looks like it's about x. For my slope. So I'm matching my slope first. And then I'm going to go ahead and see where my y-intercept kind of goes across here. And it looks like it's at about 60. So I'm going to go ahead and add my y-intercept of plus 60. It's a little low. So I'm going to go 65, 66, 67. And it's looking a little too steep. So I'm going to flatten it a little bit by simply making it at 0.9x, no, 0.95, 0.96. And once again, I'm just playing it to match it. I'm going to lower my y-intercept down a little bit, and that's looking pretty accurate to me. So I have my equation of my line, which is y equals 0.96 x plus 66. And now I'm going to go ahead and add my starting and my stopping. Now, as you can tell in our notes that you're going to write today, you are going to decide whether you want to limit the domain, looking at the graph from left to right, or look at the range, which is your y from bottom to top. So I prefer for most of my lines to go from left to right, looking at the x-axis. So we always start with a bracket, which is shift and then the button to the right of the P. And then I look to see where I want my line to start. And it looks like I want it to start at about negative 42. So I go ahead and type in where I want that to be. And then I need to go ahead and put the less than symbol, or you can do less than equal to, it doesn't really matter. And then because I'm limiting left to right, I'm going to put my X. And now I can see that it started here. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a less than again. It's always your less than symbol. And then I'm going to see where I want it to stop. And I want it to stop, it looks like probably about negative 28. Now that's clearly too much, so I'm going to try negative 30. And I'm going to zoom in, and I'm just going to keep playing with that number until my line stops where I want it to. I can also click where I want it to stop and look at my X value, which as you can see is negative 33. So that allows me to really focus in. And so I go ahead and I now have a start and stop. So that's what you're focusing on today. Now, once again, if you take away your picture by clicking on what your picture was, and remember your picture should be fairly large. It needs to be from about negative 50 to positive 50 at a very minimum. Otherwise, your project will not be approved and you will have to start again from the beginning. So make sure you've expanded it big enough. Now, once again, if I take that off, you can see my 3 lines that I've created so far. I'm going to go ahead and do one more today for you, and that's going to be a straight up and down line. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this line right here on the beginning of the U for UCLA. And this, of course, is an x equals line because it is a vertical line and it crosses the x-axis. So I'm going to go ahead and try x equals, and I'm going to change it out of that color blue because that's hard to see. It looks like about negative 88. So we're going to go ahead, like I said, I'm going to change that color to maybe that orange. And it's going to be needed to move to the left. So I'm going to try negative 90, negative 91. And that looks accurate for me. Now, because I'm doing an x equals, the only way that I can go ahead and limit this is using my y values instead of my x's, and that's from bottom to top. So once again, I start with a bracket, which is shift by the right of the P, and I'm looking for the bottom number first, and I'm looking at my y-axis this time. So I look over here and I see that's probably at about 10. And that's inside, of course, my things here. And then I have a less than once again. And this time I put my y values in because I'm looking at the y-axis from bottom to top. And as we zoom in here, I can see that 10 was too much. So I'm going to change that to a 9, to a 8, maybe an 8.1. 8.2. There it is. And then on the other side, we're going to see where it ends. And you can see there's a dot there. We're joined with my other one. And my y value is 22.25. So I'm going to add the other less than, and then the 22.25. And then we're going to go ahead and close up those brackets. And as you can see, I've added another line. So once again, when I take my picture away from my UCLA, you can see I'm starting to form those edges right there. And I now have a total of 4 lines. Now, your job today, before you had a minimum of 1 line, your job is to add an additional 10 lines to your project. If you have any questions, please email me. We do have a magic word today, and that magic word today is blender. I hope you guys love smoothies and boba smoothies as much as me. Blender is your magic word today. Once again, you have notes to take as well today, and it's going to walk through these little, the tinier font, you don't have to write, just the big steps of those 6 steps in order to make this happen. Have fun today. You're going to turn into me either the URL, which is this guy up here, Control C, and paste that as a link onto your Google Classroom or a screenshot. Now, very important, don't forget, please press this save button every time. Desmos does not save automatically. If you don't press save and then you exit out, you're going to have to start from the beginning. And we don't want that to happen. Hope everyone's doing well, ladies and gentlemen. Have fun today. You also do have your Khan Academy assignment to do today as well, focusing on domain and range. Talk to you soon. Have a great day. Can't wait to see your projects.